A different topic. Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a southern accent?
Better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, this is...
she was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Is this something that
same
you think...
line.
Okay, Peter.
That she used the same line in Pittsburgh, and it sounded like she at least had some kind of a southern drawl.
I mean, do you hear the question that you're... I mean, do you think Americans seriously think that this is an important question? They care... You know what they care about? They care about the economy. They care about lowering costs. They care about health care. That's what Americans care about.
So
that's what they want to hear.
This is something...
They care about, your colleague just asked me about, what basically we talked about, went back and forth about democracy and freedom. That's what they care about. I'm not even going to entertain some question about the president. It's just, hearing it sounds so ridiculous.
Well, but hearing it is...
The question, I'm talking about the questions is just insane.
Is that how she talks in meetings here?
I'm just... Peter, we're moving on. We're still moving on.
Is that how she talks in meetings? I mean, they're absolutely imploding. And now we're learning that the Democrats are freaking out over Kamala's plunging polls. They're not buying for a second the puff polls that the New York Times and CNN are deliberately peddling. We're going to see precisely how the DNC is in a full-blown panic. They're desperately scrambling to save whatever seats they can from Kamala's fallout. And we're going to see why it's all too little, too late. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we dive into the latest wave of Democrat panic, I gotta ask you, if you're like me, do you have trouble falling asleep at night? Because I know I do. I'm a horrible sleeper. For me, I can't turn off my brain. And so I toss and turn, often, frankly, for hours before I'm able to fall asleep. But gang, I've come across something that has absolutely revolutionized my life. It's called Beam Dream. It has completely changed the way I sleep. Gang, I sip a nice hot cup of Beam Dream at night, and I kid you not, I'm out like a light. And I have the most restful sleep ever all throughout the night. It's become a nightly ritual of mine that I look forward to each and every day. Plus, I never wake up feeling groggy the next morning. Instead, I feel refreshed and ready to take on the day. And they're offering Turley Talks listeners an exclusive discount of up to 40% off for a limited time. So just click on that QR code on the screen or use the link below to get the best night of sleep you've had in years and propel your wellness journey into the next stage. Click the QR code or go to shopbeam.com/Turley Talks. That's shopbeam.com/Turley Talks for your amazing discount today. So the Democrats are absolutely panicking as of this morning, and they're freaking out. And we got the receipts. Make sure to stick with me all the way to the end of this video, because I'm going to show you exactly how the Democrats are evidencing their panic. This is going to blow you away. But first, let's talk why. Why are the Democrats panicking, particularly this morning? Take a look at what just dropped in the key swing state of Michigan. This is over the last 24 hours. We've got two brand new polls out, one from Epic and the other from WDIV. That's a local TV station there in Michigan. Both are showing that Trump has taken the lead. Both are showing that Trump is up +1 over Kamala. Now, why is this so significant? Well, for two reasons. First and foremost, Michigan is the most liberal of the three blue wall states. So you've got Wisconsin, you've got Michigan, you've got Pennsylvania. These are the so-called three blue wall states. These are the three must-win states. Given the electoral college makeup, these are the three must-win states for a Democrat presidential candidate. Republicans find Michigan consistently the hardest to win. So Trump is up several points in Pennsylvania. Republican registration's through the roof in Pennsylvania. He's doing really well in Wisconsin. But Michigan is consistently frustrating for Republicans. So the fact that Trump is now leading in this state is huge because it means that he's leading even more. He's even more ahead in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania that tend to vote to the right of Michigan. So that's first. Michigan is an indicator of how well Trump is doing in the other two blue wall states. So that's first. Secondly, both of these polls are coming from two of Michigan's most liberal pollsters. They're both locals. They're both Michigan polling outlets. Like I said, one's a Michigan TV station. They both know and understand Michigan voters mostly. Unfortunately for both of them, they both underestimated Trump's support significantly in 2016, 2020 in their own state. And I want to say that again because I think it's so important to understanding what's really happening here. Both of these local polling outlets consistently underestimated Trump's support in both 2016, 2020 in their own home state. Not only did they never have Trump in the lead in either 2016 or 2020, not once. Not only was Trump never in the lead in any of their polling, but on top of that, they misjudged Trump's support by 4 or 5 points. So we've got to understand how significant this 1 point lead is. These two pollsters, these two liberal pollsters who consistently underestimate Trump's support, just dropped 2 polls showing that Trump is winning Michigan, the hardest state for Republicans among the 3 blue wall states. And Trump has this lead in the shadow of the DNC. When Kamala was supposed to run away with it, when she's supposed to be sitting on a double-digit lead, most especially in a state like Michigan. But if anything, it gets worse because given the track record of these two polling outlets, given how Trump has overperformed their polling by 4 or 5 points, Trump may in fact be 5 or 6 points over Kamala right now, where the election held today. And it's not hard to see why Michigan voters strongly prefer Trump on all the major issues driving this election. Voters trust Trump by nearly 20 points when it comes to the southern border. Obviously, Kamala is not convincing anyone with her flip-flop. No one believes she's a border hawk, that she's going to secure the border. Nobody buys that. So all of her flip-flopping on that issue has been wasted. Trump is plus 13 on the economy, and he's plus 5 on international affairs. Gang, I'm sorry. If those numbers hold, this election is over. Trump is going to carry Michigan. And if he carries Michigan, he's going to carry Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. It's over. There's no way voters trust Trump with the top 2 issues driving this campaign, the economy and the southern border. There's no way voters trust Trump by double digits on those 2 top issues, but then turn around and vote for Kamala. And so it's no wonder that the election forecast darling of the left, Nate Silver, is currently giving Trump his highest chances of winning since Biden imploded in front of the entire world over the summer. According to Nate Silver's election forecast model, Trump has a 57% chance of winning in November as compared to Kamala's 43% chance. Trump has risen to a near 14-point lead over Kamala, his highest chances of winning the presidency since July, since around the time Biden imploded. Now, what's so fascinating with this Nate Silver election forecast model is that there's been no downward movement for Harris in the RCP aggregate and the Real Clear Politics polling average. It's remained relatively steady with her at about a 1 to 2 point advantage. Now, again, keep in mind, both Hillary and Biden had double-digit advantages by this time in their respective candidacies. But Mark Mitchell of Rasmussen pointed out that there's been no downward move for Harris in the RCP aggregate, but her odds of winning the popular vote have plunged according to Silver's model. So it appears to be seeing something that's going on beyond even the polls. And perhaps it's something like this. I told you we got the receipts showing you just how panicked the Democrats are getting behind the scenes here with Kamala's poll numbers imploding like this. And here it is. It's now being widely reported that with her plummeting polls, an unprecedented amount of money is being taken away from Kamala's campaign, and it's being redirected instead toward down ticket races. Now, we've got to remember that one of the reasons why the Democrats were freaking out over Biden was not simply that they were going to lose the White House. It was because they were going to lose the Senate. They were going to lose all these congressional races throughout the country. They were going to lose down ticket. It was going to be a bloodbath. And one of the reasons why they've been so nervous with Kamala as the replacement for Biden is that they thought she might actually pose an even greater danger to those down ticket races. Well, now it appears to be happening. The Kamala Harris campaign, as well as the Democrat National Committee, the DNC, they're redirecting millions of campaign dollars to down ballot races across the country, which signals that they have no confidence that Kamala is going to be able to bring them over the finish line. So this is a stunning admission as to how dire things are for Kamala and her internal polling. But it's frankly too little too late. It's been widely documented that voters don't vote split ticket anymore. There's been one exception. That's Susan Collins in Maine. She's a Republican. She won in 2020 in her state, even though Maine voted for Biden. But with that one split ticket exception, we haven't been seeing split tickets. Voters tend to vote monolithically in terms of the party of their presidential choice. So if they vote Republican for their president, they're going to vote Republican for their senator and for their representative. So spending all of this money on down ticket races, all the while recognizing that your presidential candidate is imploding, seems to be nothing more than an act of utter futility on the part of the Democrats. In the end, they're just burning more money. And if the polls that are coming out of Michigan are any indicator, this come November, the Democrats will be both poor and defeated.